category of guys that I'm just not sure they're going to be able to stand.
You kind of hold your breath. Is he too brittle? Is he too brittle?
I don't like some of the decisions he makes. I think he shoots too many threes. The big thing for him is conditioning. And until he takes that seriously, he's just going to have a ceiling on his career. I think if you go back and you look at the tapes of him in Kansas, and he looks like a young Kevin Garnett. I mean, he's 50 pounds lighter.
His body's completely different.
Different.
Oh, my gosh.
And he's just carrying a lot of weight. And I felt like during the Celtics series 2 years ago, I thought he wore down at the end of those games. So he's got to figure that out because that's the thing that's holding him back on.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Lowry out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Ibaka in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the 76ers, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. Here's VanVleet following the basket by Al Horford. Now VanVleet, clock at 6. Back to Ibaka. And that one is off. Simmons with the defensive effort. Harris inside. Siakam pulls it in. The Raptors have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And stolen by Richardson. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Siakam.
And sometimes you have no chance at stopping Simmons from the interior. Just a very skilled player who gets these calls routinely.
Philadelphia shooting their first free throws of this.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good.
The 2018 Rookie of the Year. Simmons' NBA career got off to a great start, and he's only continued to improve.
And he's good on the second. And from everything we're hearing, Bill, the draft's one and done aspect may be coming to an end. Like it?
For me, the G League is the key to all of this. I would like to see the guys come right out of high school and go into the G League and have an actual infrastructure that's attached to the real team.
And the G League is having an effect on the NBA. There are a lot of former guys from that league playing in the big league.
And the other thing is, like, sports rights are becoming more and more valuable with the streaming services and just the fact that you can watch a game anywhere you are. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it if you're in China. You can watch it if you're in Hawaii. And I think the G League should be a bigger thing. So if they can figure out a way to kind of steal college basketball's corner with some of this stuff while also preparing these guys. The one and done, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand what anyone gains from going to college for 5 months and then pretend they're a college student.
Now here's Richardson. After the miss from Serge Ibaka. Shoots from the baseline. The rebound by Ibaka. So the 76ers, their last game, a loss to the Detroit Pistons. With the teardrop and the rejection by Embiid. Ibaka against Richardson. Outside, Simmons. Pass to Horford. Kicks it out to Richardson. 4 on the clock. Over Ibaka. Richardson, good.
Keeping one eye on the clock, one eye on the rim. Richardson cool under pressure.
And so Lowry will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Looking for the first basket of the game. Shot to stop the run. This is his first chance at the line tonight. First one falls for him.
You know, a multi-time All-Star. He's an NBA champion now. It's taking some time, but Lowry has finally silenced his critics.
And he can't hit the second. Bill, if you were just hired as a GM, which franchise would you model your approach after?
I really like what the Clippers did the last couple of years when they realized they didn't have quite enough to win the title. And instead of just being beholden to being darn close but not quite, they actually blew it up and tried to figure out how to create cap space, find some young players.
And still stay competitive.
Build
so
the
they kept the momentum of their franchise.
Yeah, they stumbled into a situation where they had a lot of flexibility no matter what. I think the Celtics before them did the same thing in the mid-2000s. They're just trying to find assets and figure it out on the fly. That's the approach I would use. I would never fully commit one way or the other to anything. The goal is to try to accumulate assets and figure out what you have. And I think the smartest teams do that.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Trying to find some answers offensively.
Yeah, these guys need to work together as a team, as a unit. Try and carve out some easy buckets.
And a chance to take a look at some numbers for Powell.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different score than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
Now, here is Ibaka. He picked up 27 points in their last win against the Utah Jazz. Here's Anunoby, guarded by Embiid. And the rejection by Embiid. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Bill, if you were building a franchise from scratch, which one current player would you begin with or build around?
Probably Giannis, because he's
Still
turning
young
25 this year. I still feel like the ceiling of what he's going to do is go up as he becomes more of a shot maker. He's really durable, which I think is underrated. Like, he's just built to play basketball. There's certain guys like that. I think Kevin Garnett was like that. Mm-hmm. Tim Duncan was like that. Just guys who you just know are going to be around for 17, 18 years. The way I like to watch the running styles, and the game just comes so easy to him. He's so athletic and really cares and is really competitive and just wants to do this and win at basketball. That's how I pick.
This is a big part of Siakam's game. The ability to put the ball on the floor and make a play.
Richardson kicks to Simmons. And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's his first foul. Now here's Simmons. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game.
Lowry isn't the biggest player, but he can get in your shirt and challenge a shot.
Good work defensively by Lowry. Passes it to Van Vliet. A floater. He doesn't hit that one. Good work defensively by Richardson.
You know what, though? They keep calling his number despite the difficult quarter he's had.
Simmons passes to Harris. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Raptors trail by 9. Lowry with the ball. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Utah Jazz.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
Here's Simmons after the made shot from Kyle Lowry. Now here's Richardson. He's tightly guarded. And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, and that one, their rebounding was the difference. Big disparity between the two teams.
And you know this, what you do on the backboard may not completely win or lose a game, but it can tip the scale in one team's favor.
The 76ers leading by 7. Here's Richardson. Got it. Good job in the low post. Richardson's got 6. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And Bill, over a quarter of today's NBA players were born in a country other than the United States. The talent is that broad all over the globe.
And Giannis was born on another planet. We don't know what planet
He is
was.
otherworldly.
It wasn't Earth. I think he just got dropped from some satellite. Yeah, this all starts with.
I love it too, don't you? I love the fact
do.
we've got players from Latvia and Greece and all over playing.
What's cool about it is they all kind of have distinct identities and quirks, and one of the things that makes somebody like Doncic so much fun to watch is he's not like anybody else. Like, he's close to James Harden, but he's also that step back 3 that he was taking that he's been making his whole life. Other than Harden, nobody was even really shooting it that way, you know? And I think there's an unselfishness with the European guys that is really useful for the way the American style.
100% agree.
They really, guys move without the ball, it's give and go, and it's not just like clear out, I'm up.
Yeah. Davis surveying the floor. Outside Gasol. No good from outside. Philadelphia leading by 11. Richardson outside. He kicks to Simmons. 6 to shoot. Floats one up, and it's good on the layup. Simmons got his second bucket.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And the foul called on Korkmaz. That's his first foul. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Now here's Powell. He's guarded closely.
All right, a moment to check out the stats for Powell. He's been on a tear since the All-Star break, going really to another level, averaging about 23 points per, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And I'm not sure he can play any better than he has. I mean, surprising a lot of people with his play here of late.
Therein lies the question. Has he reached a new level in his game, or is this just a hot streak that'll eventually cool down? We'll see.
The first free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. You've been producing documentaries, going deeper into athlete stories, which I know you love, because I think you're curious more than anything else.
Yeah.
So what drew you to that process?
Initially, it was we dove into these stories. We thought that was the inefficiency of, instead of these big, broad type of documentaries, concentrate on events and players and moments and things like that. And I think as you get into that and you start doing it, it just becomes intoxicating. And the cool thing about it is no story should be told the same way you would tell somebody else's story. You just don't know. You got to figure it out. Like, we had Steve Nash his last Lakers season. He wanted to do a documentary about it. And then we spitballed it, and we decided it was actually a better idea to do an in-the-moment digital series about it that you could experience in real time with the thing. And it was the right idea, and that was really good. I think trying to figure out what story clicks the best with an athlete, how to tell whatever story they have correctly is the coolest part about that.
Free throw drops for Gasol.
You know Marc Gasol's brother Powell, he was a top 3 pick. Mark fell to the second round and had to work for everything he's achieved.
And so Marc Gasol nails both of them. The 76ers leading by 9. Here's Thibault. Shoots over Powell. Thibault can't get it to go.
Great focus on the defensive end there to contest that shot.
And this is where you would prefer to work the ball to someone else for just a better look. To stretch out the defense, you just need enough guys on the floor who can make that shot.
The pass to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
Yeah, and when Simmons is driving inside, he's going to sky up for the flush, getting to the basket in no time.
Now here's Davis. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Pass to Powell. Toronto working the ball around now. It's Korkmaz in the corner. Off target with his 3. Raptors trail by 8. In the corner, Powell with it. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Here's Thibault. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out east. The season nearly complete. You take a look at the Raptors. Right now they've acquired the second best record in the conference. And of course Philadelphia. And they're down 4 spots from them.
And right now for the 76ers, most of the preseason predictions were right on the money when it came to them. I mean, a playoff contender, but not necessarily championship caliber.
I agree. As good as they've been, they do seem like they're missing that true killer instinct that sets the great teams apart from the good ones.
Here's Davis after Ben Simmons' bucket. 56 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Outside, Davis. 3-pointer. The shot that time, not on target. And it's Philadelphia the other way. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons. Simmons dishes to Horford. Outside, Simmons. Over Davis. And again, it's Philadelphia.
Oh, man, a hot start for him. He's hit 5 of his first set.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Hit his leg. And the ref saying he kicked it.
Checking in for the 76ers, Glenn Robinson III. Shane Milton. Alec Burks.
Down, Mark.
And here is Powell. They need this one. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for Philadelphia. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. Right back after this break. Al Horford provided some insight on why he decided to sign with Philadelphia.
What put me over the edge to make this switch is just the depth that I saw with this team,
It's an up-and-coming young team that we have a chance to be good for many, many years, and it was something I wanted to be a part of.
Playing for a historic franchise, Greg, they've got, of course, the great fan support, great history, something Horford relishes.
A great choice. A team with depth and youth. They have a chance to be good for a long time.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. Guys, 76ers pretty much in control here, it would seem.
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Yeah, they were very physical and very aggressive. They've just been the better team so far.
They've got Horford. Robinson is out there with Mike Scott. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Milton in at the two spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Powell with the steal. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, one of the reasons Toronto was able to win the NBA championship was the astronomical improvement from Pascal Siakam, who was recognized as the league's most improved player. It was the dream of Pascal's late father that he'd reach this level, and his determination to make that reality has brought him a long way from home. Kevin?
It has indeed, D.A. Great story, and thank you. Here's Powell after Alec Burks has scored. Outside, Davis. Six on the shot clock. Hollis Jefferson passes to Boucher. From deep three-point range, the shot by Powell, no good.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
Now here's Davis. He's still scoreless so far in this one.
Marc Gasol probably never won any dunk contests, but he can still put you on a poster.
Seen a handful of players land the Supermax contract bill. By and large, how do you see those deals working out?
It's tough. Nobody's really been happy with it yet. You know, it's so much money and it's such a big part of somebody's salary cap, and you're just kind of handicapped with it. And we've seen John Wall is the worst case scenario of it, but the situation Charlotte was in with Kemba Walker, where he makes the All-NBA team and now his Supermax is $240 million instead of $180. Like, that's crazy. And in a salary cap league, to pay $50 million a year from somebody is just nuts. It compromises the ceiling of the team. So the Bucks are going to be in this position with Giannis, where he's making $55 million a year and the cap's $120. How are you going to put a good team around?
You can't maneuver.
You can't. So I would put a wrinkle in there that I would make the Supermax, whatever, pay the player whatever the number is, but it only counts for like $32 million or something. Make it so that it's not prohibitive.
A percentage of the total cap.
Yeah, make his cap figures 32, even if you're paying him 55, and then that way people could compete better.
Now here's Burks. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit.
Coming off a scoreless first quarter, he's found a little rhythm here.
Here's Davis. Toronto calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And the 76ers with some changes. Embiid, he's checked in for Horford. And Harris subbed in for Scott. Siakam finds Ibaka. Now here's Lowry. Now Van Vliet. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Just 5 to shoot, and the Raptors miss again.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
And standing over 7 feet, weighing over 250 pounds, it's hard for Embiid to avoid those injuries that plague so many big men, but he in particular seems brittle.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that all the seasons he missed was probably a red flag for that front. It's going to come down to conditioning and us reading a story in August one summer where it's like Joel Embiid has completely changed his body and stopped drinking milkshakes and stopped having 4 meals a day and all this stuff. He actually, I think, is underrated as a great player because if you look at the rim protection stats for him, he is as dominant defensively as he is offensively when he has it going. And he can affect the game even if he's carrying a lot of weight and he's not playing that well. I would love to see him in shape.
Josh Richardson's checked in for Philadelphia.
Checking in for the 76ers, Josh Richardson.
Siakam kicks to Anunoby. And nothing is falling for him right now. Philadelphia leading by 18. Pass to Embiid. Harris looking it over. Clock at 6. The 10-footer. Serge Ibaka with the rebound.
Very surprising. He gets the ball where he wants it in a decent matchup.
Passes it to Siakam. Lays it up off the glass.
Oh, great concentration from Siakam. Takes the hit, yet his eyes never leave the rim.
Richardson outside. And there's the pass to Burks. Kicks to Embiid, and Fred VanVleet is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. Pass to Richardson. Clock is at 3.
That's terrific play on the ball by Serge. He's been first team all defense several times.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
The 76ers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
Taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
The free throw drops for Embiid. And Embiid drops them both. And so VanVleet will bring it up for Toronto. It's an 18-point game. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Now, here is Ibaka. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Checking in for the 76ers,
Raptors trail by 18. Now, here's Lowry. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. And Toronto turns it over again. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. The Raptors in second.
They've shown a tremendous ability to cash in on their opponent's mistakes, creating offense with their defense.
Pass to Harris. Here's Thibault. Shoots the three. Another miss by Philadelphia. And the foul on Josh Richardson. That's his first foul. And the 76ers making a change here. Simmons is checked in.
Checking in for the 76ers, Ben Simmons.
Siakam against Harris. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. And the Raptors miss again. Harris outside. He dishes it to Embiid. Harris passes to Richardson. Now Embiid, covered by Van Vliet. Fades and shoots. And Embiid, the bucket on the assist by Richardson. Embiid's got 4 this quarter.
Give Josh credit, taking the challenge offensively, discipline, and that's a beautiful pass.
Lowry against Simmons. Rejected by Harris. And now Philadelphia on the break. Here's Thibault. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And let's take a look at Kyle Lowry's numbers. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. 6 in assists, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And his floor awareness is undeniable. As you pointed out, top 10 in assists, and he's great at drawing the defense and making the perfect pass in stride. And the first one at the line is good. Both shots good from the stripe.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Passes it to Ibaka. Fires from deep. And it's Lowry again missing.
I don't know how many shots he's missed this quarter, but they're going to have to find offense from someone else.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, the Raptors. Richardson outside. Lowry against Simmons. And he can't bank that one in. Toronto's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Count that one. And it's 6 points for Siakam.
I love the confidence he's shooting with. Big improvement here in the second period.
Simmons with it. 11 points in the game. And they double up Simmons. Shot clock at 5. Rebound by the Raptors. Siakam's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Out to the wing. Now here's Van Vliet. Richardson cover. Van Vliet kicks to Anunoby. Knocked away. There's the pass to Lowry. Knocks down the 3-ball. Lowry's got his second bucket of the night.
Like a lot of jump shooters, Lowry's much more consistent when he gets his looks within the flow of the offense.
Here's Thibault. Lowry looking around. Unable to get that one. Simmons with the defensive effort. Hook shot on the way. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. Simmons got 13 points.
And at 6'10", a player like Simmons, to handle the ball the way he does, that's just unfair.
Lowry passes to Siakam. Outside for Lowry. 6 to shoot. Lets it fly. Lowry can't get that one to fall.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here's a look at what's coming up for Toronto. On Saturday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons. And then on Monday, they'll take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
And for their matchup with the Celtics, that's a contest that could easily go either way. Small mistakes could be the difference, and both teams will need to be at their best.
He's off on the first. Korkmaz is checked in for Philadelphia. Then for the Raptors, Marc Gasol is checked in for Ibaka. Norman Powell comes in for OG Anunoby. Davis is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Good on the second free throw. And it's Davis with the ball for the Raptors. Siakam up top. Some solid defense from Harris. The 76ers leading by 20. It's Korkmaz in the corner. Good, and Harris gets the assist. Harris has got 4 assists in the game.
This is where Tobias has really improved, keeping his eyes up, making plays for others.
Now, here's Siakam. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against the Utah Jazz.
And no one on defense could stay in front of him. He continually got pummeled and kept getting back to the stripe.
The Raptors have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
And he knocks down the first one. Al Horford is checked in for Richardson. The Raptors also with a sub. Hollis Jefferson's checked in. He hits both from the stripe. Philadelphia leading by 21 and keeping us updated from the sideline. Let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto last season, Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23. And he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. And after winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. Bill, we so appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with us. Always feels like there's so much more to talk about, which means we got to get you back here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And, Steve, you get the sense that no NBA topic is off limits when you talk to Bill Simmons.
He gets the discussion going, whether you agree or disagree with him. That's part of what makes sports fun, having those debates. And sometimes we get to see the players in the debate on the court.
And out of UCLA, Norman Powell, an athletic 6'4" combo guard, said he modeled his game after Russell Westbrook.
And I can see why. He's gifted physically as well. A 6'11" wingspan, a 40-inch vertical leap. He's more of a two-guard in my opinion, and he's off to a strong start in his young career.
The free throw drops for Powell.
They've hit every one of their free throws here in the second quarter. Very important when you're trailing.
The Raptors making a switch here. Boucher is checked in. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And here are the 76ers now. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. And that'll be the middle game of their 5 and their longest homestand of the year. Horford in the post. Horford double team. Out to Harris. Shot clock at 6. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. Harris has got his third basket of the night right there. Outside, Davis. Pass to Gasol. And Embiid with the block. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid. Here's Davis. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
We played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. Ben Simmons had it going on in the first quarter. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
With everything Ben Simmons gives you, the scoring is gravy. But in the first half, he was aggressive with his offense, getting his shots to go down. A welcome sight for this team.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
Their field goal percentage reminds me of Kenny's breath. Brutal. Not reading the defense, not getting enough quality looks. They need to make major changes because the system they ran in the first half was not working.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. What a game we're seeing from Simmons.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
He's been very effective on the move, forcing the action, getting to his spots, and finishing plays.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And on the floor for Nick Nurse as we get into the second half. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Fred VanVleet out there with Lowry, and it's Anunoby in at the 3. The shot's good.
And this was Lowry's go-to when he first entered the league, that mid-range jumper.
Embiid, the pass to Richardson. Stolen by VanVleet. And here's the fast break. Makes it off the glass. VanVleet's got his second basket of the night.
And what started it all, terrific anticipation on the defensive end.
Most teams now are looking to play with pace. No better way to ignite the break than off a turnover.
Now here's Simmons. Pass to Embiid. At the elbow, Horford. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Simmons. Here's Embiid. Siakam pulls it in. Siakam's got his 6th rebound on the night. Lowry against Simmons. The drive by Lowry. And it's blocked by Simmons.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing.
Starting the half with 3 straight misses. Not how they envisioned this one.
Now here's Lowry. He's got 8. Siakam outside. That one, no good. Good D by Embiid. To the middle. It's stolen by Ibaka. Now Now here's Van Vliet. Defense is right there. Good work defensively by Richardson.
And Raptors president of basketball operations, Masai Ujiri, not just doing an amazing job in Toronto, he's also had a huge role in the growing of the game in Africa.
Growing up in Nigeria, he fell in love with the game of basketball, and he has worked his way up. Now he's given a hand back, building pathways for others to follow in his footsteps, bringing the development and leadership to the continent.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Well, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
That's good from Harris. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
Lowry. That one a little long.
What I like, he hasn't stopped competing despite the off night.
And the rejection by Ibaka.
Great defense by Serge, a tremendous athlete, blessed with insane length and leaping ability.
Here's Anunoby. Good work defensively by Richardson. 76ers have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up a foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the 76ers making a change here. Milton's checked in. Raptors on defense. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points, and the foul called on Pascal Siakam. And that'll be his third foul so far. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. The shot will not fall. And Toronto will come the other way. And they pick up 2. Siakam's got 8 points.
Strong finish. Siakam with great balance, able to complete the play through contact.
Horford the pass to Milton. Here's the teardrop. And it's blocked by Ibaka. Pass to Van Vliet. Here's Anunoby. Richardson cover. Anunoby, good.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
Simmons feeling it out a bit. Embiid trying to break loose.
A hard worker who really ferociously strives to improve. Simmons tonight has been unstoppable at the offensive end.
Lowry for 3. Milton grabs the board.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Here's Milton. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Rob. Fast break Toronto. Up the floor. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on Richardson.
Elbow. 2.
And only 6 feet tall in shoes. Fred Van Vliet's not the biggest, but his toughness, his toughness, mentally and physically, is unquestioned.
And Kevin, growing up in Rockford, Illinois, gave him that perspective. Friends and family gone too soon. Basketball was the path to something better.
And the first one drops. You know, Smitty, every team at some point faces some locker room turmoil. How tough is it to balance team chemistry?
You know, it's very tough. Sometimes you have those 1 or 2 player additions that it just changes the dynamic of your team. Sometimes you lose a leader. He might not be the best player. Then a lot of times guys are playing for contracts, and some guys get a little bit upset because they figure they're playing for their individual success versus team. But when you have that right chemistry, it is beautiful.
Here's Milton. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. 6 to shoot. The pass to Thibault. From deep. Toronto grabs the miss. From outside the arc. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work. Burks the pass to Thibault. Outside Scott. Here's Embiid. Rebound by the Raptors. Siakam's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. And right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
Wow, he's becoming a more sophisticated scorer. Siakam beats good D with better O.
Now here's Embiid. He's got 8. Hilton the pass to Scott. Here's Milton. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Siakam kicks to Lowry. Here's the floater. Burks pulls it in.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
And you've seen they've made numerous attempts to try to get him going. Shows how valuable he is to this offense.
Here's Van Vliet. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. Pass to Siakam. And here's Lowry. The tray. And Joel Embiid pulls it down.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
And here's Burks. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Thibault, the pass to Burks. Over Lowry. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Raptors trail by 21. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Siakam throws it down.
Coming into the league, Siakam's defense was well ahead of his offense. As you can see tonight, that's evened out.
Now here's Embiid. He's got 8. Here's Thibault over Lowry. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Toronto calls timeout.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And it boils down to the question. Toughness. One team showing it, the other allowing itself to be bullied.
Robinson's checked in for the 76ers. Korkmaz comes in for Shake Milton. Outside, Davis. Pass to Gasol. Just 5 to shoot. Raptors need to get a shot off. Here's Hollis Jefferson, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Burks. Averaging about 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
He's not trying to take over necessarily. He's just taking what the defense allows and contributing to the cause.
And for a team schedule that includes 4 games in 5 nights, sports writers have introduced the term schedule losses due to fatigue. I just don't think that's very good, but it's the reality right now.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes, Kevin, you know these games, you travel a lot. Your legs are just done, and that's when you have to rely on a total team, play more guys. But it happens. You can't get out of this quicksand. You're going to have those type of losses.
And Philadelphia has possession after the Raptors pick up 2. Here's Korkmaz. It's blocked, and they're able to recover. And the shot goes in from Embiid. And so it's Davis. He'll bring the ball up for Toronto. Passes to Powell. Now here's Gasol. Now the pass to Powell for the 3. And Embiid pulls it down. The 76ers leading by 21. Pass to Burks. Back to Harris. Feeds to Embiid. Pass to Burks. 5 on the clock. For 3. That one's not going to go. And Toronto will come the other way. It's Powell on the wing. That shot is off. Some solid defense from Harris.
They keep calling his number, which is partly how they've dug this hole.
Burks, the pass to Harris. Fade away. And it's Toronto with the rebound. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Davis kicks to Boucher. The dish to Powell. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Raptors have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. Simmons checked in for the 76ers. He makes 1 of 2 that time. And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
Now Davis, following Tobias Harris's 3-point attempt. Back to Davis. Second shot opportunity, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Embiid.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. And good on the second, so he makes them both. 1:11 left in the third quarter of the game. The 76ers leading by 18. Outside, Simmons. Back to Embiid. It's no good. He's now 4 of 9 from the field. Raptors shooting the ball poorly, just 28%. Harris against Davis. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Back to Davis. 6 on the shot clock. There's the feed to Gasol. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And the 76ers with some changes. Horford comes in for Embiid, and it's Richardson in for Robinson. Philadelphia's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Simmons against Davis. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. They get Marc Gasol.
You just have to be more careful with Simmons. So brilliant at throwing the D off guard.
We've seen him miss a couple from the line so far, going 2 for 4. And he knocks down the first one. And Simmons drops them both. Raptors trail by 20. Now Davis. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. To the inside. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Ben Simmons.
And really, Gasol is so talented at using his 7'1" frame to draw contact. Defenders sometimes have no other choice but to whack him. Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Gasol. He's perfect from the line this time. Now here's Simmons. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense right there. And so it's Philadelphia holding a big 18-point lead to close the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Quarter number 4. And Simmons has got the ball here for the 76ers. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. In the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Down low, it's Harris and Horford. And it's Korkmaz in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage. And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can, at times, be unstoppable.
And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
And he makes the first. Out of town, the 2018 draft, Smitty. Who do you think has the highest ceiling of that group?
Kevin, I love that question because it's not who's the best player who has the best talent. it's the ceiling. I think Jaren Jackson Jr., Marvin Bagley, those guys have so much room to grow. The Doncic and the Trae Young, those guys are fantastic. They have room to grow, but I think those two have a lot of room to grow, and they're already good.
Powell, that's good.
And that's a great piece of work to get to the hoop there. Just tore the D to shreds.
And the pass to Harris. Richardson with it. Lets a floater go. Gasol with the defensive effort.
Trying to finish out the game strong. You have to recognize who has the hot hand and get him the ball.
Davis down low. Simmons is there. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
As he enters his mid-30s, Marc Gasol showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, I think he's a better all-around basketball player.
Shooting two.
No good on that one. And through his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Marc Gasol made a total of 12 three-pointers. Nowadays, Greg, he'll make more than that in a month.
and you ask around, he's always been capable. A great shooting touch. It's just a different job description for big men nowadays.
And the second free throw, good. Here's Richardson. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Pass to Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And Simmons really using his insane athleticism on that drive. A remarkable penetrator who really carves up the defense.
Now here's Davis. Lost contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
They're trailing, but they are really battling, working the ball down low, getting good looks in the paint. The inside game much improved from where it was in the first half.
One shot.
Free throw good, Davis. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. On the wing, Harris. That's tipped. Lowry with the ball. Outguarded by Simmons. Here's Powell. Second chance shot, and the layup is good. Powell's got 4 points now in the quarter.
At the end of the day, when the ball goes up, there's no substitute for effort.
Richardson outside. And it's Simmons penetrating. And Simmons slams it in.
Throw it down, young fella. Simmons is explosive and without a doubt one of my favorite dunkers.
Davis against Simmons. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Lowry. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his 5th rebound in this one. Harris outside. Simmons against Davis. Here's Harris. Lock at 6. Inside. Pass to Korkmaz. There's the 3. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Harris against Powell. Goes back up, and that's 2 points on the layup.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Down low, here's Horford. Good D by Gasol.
A for effort, but when there's that much resistance at the rim, better find another option.
And that one's good by Davis.
in the mid-range. Rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
Now here is Harris. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
First free throw is good. Steve, Kobe Bryant said that growing up in Italy gave him a huge advantage learning the fundamentals and the tactics of the game. Do you think Europe's better at developing players than the United States?
You know, I don't think they're better. I do think their system at times for certain players, they get into a system of working on their game. And I wouldn't just say fundamentals from an early age. And a lot of those guys are being able to practice with pros at an early age. I think it comes down to individuals. And also I think a lot of these parents and kids, you have to understand it starts off with making a layup versus making a three. So I don't think that Europe is doing it better. I just think a lot of times right now we're looking at some of those European players and they're coming over ready to play from day one versus some other players. You know, we talk a lot about scoring efficiency. He's displaying the exact opposite.
Horford, no luck.
And his pure defensive effort changed that shot from an easy one to a tough one.
And you know, technically, it's a high percentage look, but this is why we play the game. You know, he's pulling his weight, but they still find themselves behind.
Kicks it out to Richardson. Here's another rebound.
Rebound after rebound after rebound.
Oh, GA, he is crashing the glass with energy. I love it.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
The free throw drops for Embiid. You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal.
He catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Nick Nurse told his team. He is not happy with the turnovers. He said, we have got to get some shots. It's as simple as that, guys. Play smart and value the basketball. We'll see if the message sunk in, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Now, here is Lowry. There's the triple. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
Boy, you can see his struggles from the field, and I think it's really starting to get to him.
It's Richardson on the wing, while recovering. A beautiful reverse layup. 25 points for Ben Simmons.
Playing at his tempo, his pace, he's been dialed in all night.
Lowry against Simmons. Passes it to Anunoby. Again with the block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
His struggles from the field continue, yet they still hold the lead.
Here's Siakam. Hold on!
Kevin, you got to buckle up on that one. You know, he's known as a lunch pail guy. Siakam showing the crowd a little extra that time.
It's stolen by Ibaka. Siakam with it, outguarded by Simmons. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Harris, the basket good off the assist from Simmons. And then That's 13 points for Tobias Harris.
A big part of what makes Harris a more physical player right now is he has filled out his frame, and he is able to finish through contact.
And stolen by Simmons. And here's Richardson outside. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Ibaka's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And here is Van Vliet inside. Ibaka right side. Here's Anunoby. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line.
And what an assured player. Anunoby believes in his ability to shoot the ball off the catch.
Richardson the pass to Embiid. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Van Vliet. Sweet little floater.
Man, I'll tell you, when you get your floater game going, it's a tremendous weapon.
The pass to Richardson. On the wing, Harris. It's good, and it's his sixth make against 11 attempts.
High percentage look for Harris. He becomes more and more efficient offensively.
Simmons against Lowry. Pass to Siakam. And it's good. That bucket takes him to 9 for 14.
Playing from behind right here. Not easy, but he is answering the bell.
The reason why is not just scoring, it's the way he's doing it. Efficient. That's what you need at this point in the game.
Pass to Horford. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Van Vliet. And there's Horford. That's good on the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 4th assist in this one. To the wing on the left. Here's Lowry. He can't hit that time. Simmons with the defensive effort.
He's kind of lost his way this period, having a hard time getting anything to go down.
Harris passes to Embiid. Siakam pulls it in. Siakam's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Here's Van Vliet. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the game. I mean, the rebounding has been very one-sided.
Raptors trail by 14. Pass to Siakam. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Horford's got 7 rebounds in the game. Outside, Simmons. To the paint. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Siakam.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
First free throw is good. And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and Greg, they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him average Al.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
So Horford gets 2.
And one difference this have is that when they get to the line, they're converting. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
The pass to Siakam. Here's Anunoby. Siakam looking around. Back to Anunoby. Puts it up from 12. Simmons with the defensive effort.
Great focus on the defensive end there to contest that shot.
And this is where you would prefer to work the ball to someone else for just a better look.
Thibault, the pass to Harris. Al Horford. From deep. Harris, no good. Raptors trail by 16. Out of bounds. It'll be 76ers ball.
That's what happens when nothing goes your way. You start to lose focus, and it makes matters worse.
And here are the 76ers now. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Simmons dishes to Horford. Here's Harris. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Harris has got 11 points here in just the second half. Now here's Van Vliet. Defense right on him. And Embiid with the block.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the 76ers.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And this will push their record to 39 wins and a good effort tonight. And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Joel Embiid.
When it comes to protecting the rim, there are numerous ways to do that. The most exciting of those, just send shots back. And that's what he did tonight in volume.
5 to shoot. Siakam passes to Lowry. Over Simmons. And again, no good by Toronto.
And the truth is, I've been there. He's trying to find the rhythm on his shot. He feels like he's close, and that's why he keeps shooting.
Here's Feibel. And the rejection by Ibaka. And here's the break. Here's Van Vliet. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And they definitely have the edge in those fast break points.
They can't be afraid of keep pushing the basketball in transition because in a half-court set, they're struggling a little bit.
Right side Simmons. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily, and the outcome